My name is Scott Good. I'm the Senior Minister at South Wagga Anglican Church, and welcome to our brand new ministry. Welcome to our very first edition of SWAC Online. This is in response to the COVID-19 viruses and the guidelines which we now have in place that mean that we can't gather in the way that we usually gather. And so we've created a new ministry. In fact, there are more ministries coming, and I'm really excited about the way in which we're going to connect with each other and connect with our community in a new normal or a new world. It's an opportunity for us to create video content for our whole church family and indeed the larger community that we can provide online in the months to come as we rethink how church will work in a world that is taking precautions against the COVID-19 virus. We intend over the coming months to produce content which will bring us together as a church, let us know what's going on, give us Bible content to nourish our souls and to make sure that we're praying as a community together. You can watch this content by yourself, you can join one of our home groups throughout the week or perhaps a new Sunday home group as we get them up and running so that you can still feel part of our church community. And we're going to connect in ways we've never thought about. We're going to find new and creative ways. Love cannot be contained. And so take the opportunity to embrace the new normal as we connect to each other on SWAC Online. So please make sure you like our Facebook page, South Wagga Anglican Church. Please make sure that your email is up to date on our church database. And please reach out to others. Make sure that they have the opportunity to connect with our church family in a new online way. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to God's elect, strangers in the world, scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, who have been chosen according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through the sanctifying work of the Spirit, for obedience to Jesus Christ and sprinkling by His blood. Grace and peace be yours in abundance. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In His great mercy He has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and into an inheritance that can never perish, spoil or fade, kept in heaven for you, who through faith are shielded by God's power until the coming of the salvation that is ready to be revealed in the last time. I wanted to start the very first Bible spot as part of our new SWAC Online in 1 Peter chapter 1, where Peter speaks to God's precious people. He calls them God's elect. And then he says something very interesting. He says, strangers in the world, scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and more. We've been meeting on site here at St Paul's and St Albans for more than 50 years. We've been gathering together as God's people have over many millennia, centuries. But we're now faced with a new set of circumstances. The COVID-19 virus has brought in all sorts of restrictions, made us practice social distance policies, and it's changing the way we think about who we are as a church. And so it seems to me as I think through this that this passage struck me. We are both God's elect, but we are scattered. With the restrictions that are now come in place with the COVID-19 virus and the social distancing practices which we now need to do for the sake of others, for the love that we have for each other and for our broader community, we are scattered in a way that we never have before. No longer can we gather in churches, no longer can we gather in large groups, but we are, like Peter wrote to those early Christians, scattered throughout our community. This means that there is going to be a new normal in how we do church in the coming months. Already I've had meetings with leaders to think about how it is that we're going to resource people to be the people of God, how we're going to provide information, how we're going to encourage discipleship, how we're going to express care to each other, and how we're going to actually do good to all, not just the household of faith, as Galatians 6 verse 10 says, but to all who are in our community. I'm really excited that we've come up with 4 ways in which we're going to begin to think about this. We're going to have SWAC online, which is what you're currently experiencing now, video content which is produced as part of our online gatherings, so to speak. We're also going to have SWAC Care, where we're going to bring together resources, have drop-off centres, put together care packages and give to those who are in need, and enable you to give to those in need in a concrete expression of Christian compassion and love. We're also going to have SWAC at home, where not just meeting throughout the week in our usual Bible study home groups, we're going to have meetings on Sunday where we can gather together and experience SWAC online and also fellowship with each other in a safer way. And we're also going to have SWAC Scattered, the theme of this passage today, where we're scattered throughout our community but engaging in deep spiritual life with Christ and with each other through resourcing ourselves in new and fresh ways. You know, church is not the building that we come to. Church is the people of God scattered throughout the world and through the ages. In our creeds we speak about our belief in one holy, Catholic or universal church. And here is our time to experience not coming to church, but being the church, scattered throughout the city of Wagga. Our churches are our cherished homes. I love coming to church on Sunday. I love St Paul's. I love St Albans. I love the people and I love the opportunity to gather. But you know what? Our buildings are not our ultimate homes. In this passage, Peter will speak to people who feel disenfranchised, who feel isolated, who feel scattered, but he says, you are God's elect. You are cherished. You are loved by God. You have been sanctified. That is set apart by the work of the Spirit for obedience to Jesus Christ and the sprinkling by his blood. And then he says this, he says, you have been born again into a living hope, into an inheritance that can never perish, spoil or fade, kept in heaven for you. Our ultimate homes are not found in our buildings, but in heaven where Jesus Christ is. And so in the coming months, we're going to draw on deep spiritual resources. We're going to draw on our life together in new ways, scattered throughout our city, but we're going to draw on Jesus Christ, our true spiritual home, the one whom has come and shed his blood for us, brought us into relationship with the Father, who gives us his Spirit so that we can live in fellowship with him and fellowship with others in new and fresh ways. There's going to be a lot more information to come out from me and from others about how we're going to do this in the coming weeks and months. Communication, video content as I've talked about. But more important than all that, take the opportunity to be the church. To realise that we are God's elect. We are scattered, but we are loved. By God first, but we are loved by each other. So pick up the phone. Write a card to someone. Go and visit someone. Give them a gift. See what God will do with us thinking through what it is to be the church scattered in this new normal that we are all experiencing. God bless. See you soon.